welcome to another episode of America's Hometown Horror. And I'm looking at the horror on my co-host faces right now.
That's an intro.
I just quoted Taylor Swift. Sorry. It's a pop culture reference.
I thought that was
Guess what? Anyway, good evening, and we have a jam-packed episode tonight, so why don't we jump right the fuck in? Here's where you can find our show on social media and online, first of which is our website, ahpod.com, AHHPOD.com. That's stands for America's Hometown Horror Podcast.com. There will be blog updates in the coming weeks, maybe in the next couple of days, you never know. But you can also find us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and you can email us. Just search for America's Hometown Horror. You'll find us, and in terms of email, you can email hometownhorrorpodcast@gmail.com. And also, I have to mention our sponsors, first of which is Horror Facts Magazine. You can find them at horrorfacts.com, which is a great resource for any horror fan. You can find news, editorials, and other horror podcasts just like ours at horrorfacts.com. And last but certainly not least, we are now partnering with Fangoria. Fangoria, the first name in fright since 1979. Head on over to shop.fangoria.com/hometownhorrorpod and use the code hometownhorrorpod for an 20% discount off any merchandise and first-time magazine subscriptions. I would highly recommend you get your Fangoria because it's awesome. And last but certainly not least, if you want to support this show directly, if you want to see us live, if you want to hang out with us, support the Hometown Haunts and Hops Horror Convention, baby. Because that's happening on October 28th. Head on over to our friend Inebriart. Head on over to their page, inebriart.com. And it's INERI-art.com. Go to their events page and look for, basically in October, on October 28th, our horror convention that we're on. So anyway, okay. So with that being said, I'm joined by my fellow co-host Andrew, Kat, Matt, lady, gentlemen. Hello. Oh, were you now? Oh, I'm sorry. Would you like to do those things that I do?
Would you like to do the things that I do? Yes, I would. No,
okay.
I don't.
Yeah, you can do them next time then. Fine. Okay, next episode. The next
and then
episode.
you can fall
Andrew.
asleep now.
Yes. Guys, what's happening? How we doing?
We're doing.
Yeah, we doing? Everybody doing? Everybody doing? Excellent. Excellent. Guys, we got Evil Dead Rise and Beau is Afraid both this week, which I feel like the last 2 weeks there's been some banger horror movies released, and I haven't seen any of them, and I'm very disappointed in myself.
It's going to be a busy...
A lot of catching up to do.
I guess the Pope's Exorcist fucking donked on Renfield opening weekend.
So I was just going to say that, and that's disheartening to me, because...
Well, no, that just shows that Russell Crowe is still... higher
a box office draw
than Nicolas Cage. Like, if you had to give me the option,
that's
Russell Crowe or Nicolas Cage, I'd go with Russell Crowe.
I'd pick Nicolas Cage every time. You're out of
I
mind.
see. It depends on the movie. I personally would have gone to see Renfield because I think that's
that
a little
movie to
more
me
my
looks,
speed. Like that looks like a real extreme, just absolute lunatic splatterfest. Pope's Exorcist looks like it takes itself a little too seriously it's like. That's fine, but it's got to be real fucking good, man. So,
yeah, that's the type of movie that, like, it's been done and done and done and done. Like, you got to do it right.
Yeah.
Renfield, I've heard good things about that, too, though. Like, it may have gotten smashed in the box office, but I heard that it's, like, very good.
The reviews are pretty good.
Yeah.
Which is all that really matters. But, I don't know, it's just disappointing to me to hear about a Universal monster movie being beat by a poo-poo Russell Crowe movie.
Dude,
like,
do not poo-poo.
I mean, hey, it could be good.
Do not poo-poo
Russell
Yeah,
Russell
I
Crowe.
know. You never know. All right, so we'll see what's happening with the Pope's Exorcist, I guess. Anyway, but, so yeah, it's Evil Dead Rise and Beau is Afraid this week. And Evil Dead Rise getting praise from a lot of people, but I guess the most important thing that I noted from this last week is that it's also getting praise from Stephen King, who originally praised, famously, the original Evil Dead movie back in 1982, I believe. So Stephen King is a fan of not only the original movie, but I don't know. I think Evil Dead Rise looks pretty goddamn good. I'm excited to see it. I can't wait to see it. I hope I get to see it in theaters. If I don't, I will be one of the first people to rent it for $20. Comes out. I do too, actually.
I've been itching to see that. No. I just want to see it. Jack Black's still a fucking... Jack Black kills.
Nobody loves
he's the
Jack
fucking
Black
man, dude.
as much. Yeah, but there's a lot of movies out right now. to watch. Impossible to see. When you're
I wish
a
I could
child.
just take like a Sunday, fucking like, all right, here's
Triple
$60,
feature.
and just bang them all out.
We don't even need
Yeah.
we need to just get the card, the pass. It's like $19.99 per month. And you
But it's like, how often, like,
But
That's
some
two movies. That's two movies.
Like this is the first month
Yeah.
ever where I've been like, you know what,
There's
I
4
think that
movies
would
I
make
wanna
sense.
see.
yeah, and then right there, that pays for itself basically.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends. If you're buying a lot
but
of
it's
snacks,
$20 a month.
$20 a month, unlimited movies though.
But you gotta go.
You gotta go.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta go. You gotta go right now.
I mean, dude, if I were you, I would absolutely do it.
Yeah, dude, I'll just go see anything in the fuck.
Which is why you
So
should
go
absolutely.
get a pass. Like,
Yeah, I should.
Like, what
Yeah,
are you
go
waiting
get
for?
it.
the reason
You
I
should do it
don't
right
go to the
now.
movies is because I spend so much money on snacks when I go to the
Yes.
movies that I'm like,
it would.
That's the problem.
Popcorn, candy,
not
ices.
even popcorn, just
The
ices.
red ices,
Give me
yeah.
the giant.
I mean,
ices.
ices are fantastic.
He gets
so
a
I don't blame
huge
you.
red icy every
Really?
time he goes
The
to
gallon.
movies.
It's like a gallon.
It's
Oh,
huge.
Christ.
Dude, they're so good though.
And then he gets candy.
They're good
I
for
usually
you.
get
man, dude.
popcorn.
I usually try to sneak the candy in though.
Do you get a headache after?
No, I feel amped and ready to roll.
I bet.
I'm like, sugar!
Yeah, just ready to
Andrew-
go play Xbox for fucking 10
I mean,
hours
I
straight.
wish. Get a 12-pack of fucking Code Red Mountain Dew and
MDs.
go
Yeah.
back.
That's like the equivalent of like when we were in like middle school, like going home and
Oh,
playing
I've-
Nintendo 64 for like 4 hours.
I
playing
haven't
GoldenEye.
grown up since
Yeah.
then.
Nope,
so.
I agree. Yep. Anyway, Matt, bad news for you, by the way. I saw today, I thought we should talk about this, that Netflix is ending their DVD shipping service after 25 years. Do you hear about this?
I did. I don't use that.
Bad.
Oh, I did see
Yeah,
that.
I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, I'm sure, I don't think I know anybody that uses Netflix DVD service anymore, but just
but-
another
It's just a hit to
blow
physical
for
media.
Well, yeah.
But-
is there anybody that uses like the red box that's outside of like Market Basket?
well,
Do
not
people go to
anymore.
those
We
still?
all did at one point.
Have you ever
though.
seen
But
anybody
people
at
are
that red box
buying
outside
physical
Market
media.
Basket?
Somebody must be using it.
Has to.
Otherwise, why is it there?
There's
maybe.
there's a big thing in collecting and owning
That's
physical
different.
media.
I was
So
just telling
renting
Mike-
a disc on in a fucking envelope that does nothing. That does nothing for me.
I mean,
that does
you
not
don't know.
move the
Does
needle.
not move
You know
the
what I
needle
mean?
one bit.
So it's disappointing for me personally because that's how I
It's just
got,
an end of an era.
That's how I
Yeah.
got turned on to like old school horror movies.
Yeah.
Was getting old school
Yep,
horror
mailed
movies
to
sent
you.
to me via DVD. First time I saw The Fly. First time I saw The Dead Zone. Like all, I guess I didn't mean to all go
Yeah,
Cronenberg
Cronenberg
there, but like. Everything. Romero movies, Cronenberg movies, everything. Like, I watched all of those via Netflix delivery service.
And-
in college.
And
Yeah.
for better or worse, because the thing with streaming is you turn something on, you're bored after 10 minutes, you shut it off. No, you waited for this fucking DVD to
rent
come in the
it.
mail.
You spent
You
money
rented,
on
you
it.
spent money
Yeah.
on it. I'm watching
It's
this entire
movie
movie.
night.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm watching this movie.
I already have
how
the-
bad this
I'm
movie
He knows
watching.
it's already here.
I'm watching Christopher Walken predict the future, and then
Yeah, I'm watching
make fun
Thinner,
of it on
and I'm
SNL
finishing it.
30
Well,
years.
it's an
later.
experience.
And without finishing that, I would never have been as obsessed with that movie as I was back then. So
Yeah, it's just weird. I mean, I'm not a big physical media collector right now, but Matt, I know you are, so I wanted to bring this up for you. But like, I don't know. I mean, maybe I should start collecting
Well, we
Blu-rays.
just talked
I don't
about
know.
this earlier
Dude,
too.
hey,
I said
listen,
I want
it's
to start.
a slippery fucking slope, man.
I know. Well, that's the thing. I don't have like I have a
Where
daughter
would
now.
you put- what
I
would you
don't
do?
have like I have a pretty sizable DVD collection. Believe it or not, it's not
Yeah, we
out
need
here.
to downsize. We
Yeah,
need
see,
to
swap those out. Someone will, if you
Sell
put that
them.
on eBay, someone will buy those.
And then you buy
People
what you want.
still buy DVDs.
Okay, I'll
And then
sell
you-
my
yeah,
DVDs.
Yeah.
Not
Fine,
mine, don't
fair
sell
enough.
mine.
Like I was saying to you earlier, I want to buy a CD player and I want to start buying CDs again because the sound on a CD is so much better than when you play it on your stupid fucking
Fact.
Alexa. It just sounds different and you can listen. There's something to be said about listening to a CD.
It's the most
straight
compact data
through.
you can have.
It's
It's
so
a
good.
compact data.
Yeah. And it's like, I just want to start buying. Like, I miss having a big old.
You're
like,
gonna
look
get a
at this-
boombox?
I'm not going to get a boombox.
You
I say we
should,
bring
though.
back, we just bring it all back.
Dude,
Yeah.
eventually we're
Let's
heading
start.
back.
See, vinyls,
Right now.
I get, I understand people's enjoyment of collecting vinyls. I definitely
That's
have
cool.
a lot, but it's still kind of a force. CD.
CDs
I
are
can
the
listen to
best.
it in my car.
Dude,
Like,
yeah.
Way
Like, that's the
easier
thing. Like,
to listen.
I've been thinking about that lately because the antenna on my van, like, I get nothing. No, it's just static on the radio, and I'm like, this thing has a CD player.
You gotta put a little
I need to buy
tinfoil
some.
on
Is that how that works?
it.
I was thinking. Of
I
just,
don't know.
I was thinking of just getting a new antenna because I feel like that should be fairly easy to like replace. It's the antenna. But then
They'd
again-
be like, a what?
Antenna.
What are you, an
And-
ant?
An antennae.
I'll go to Best Buy and the nerds
you,
there will be
bug?
like, what do you want an antenna for?
They're like,
can
why
sell
don't we
you
just
this,
install a Bluetooth radio?
I'll be
You
like,
want to
"Why
hear?
don't you
You
shut
want to
up,
hear some?
nerd?"
You want to hear some nerdy shit? When I was in college, I was a top sales rep at a Radio Shack in
yeah.
Newport, Rhode Island. I used to sell stereos, TVs, circuits, batteries, everything. They loved me because I was in college. And I was like, I need this job to survive and pay my rent. And they were like, yeah, like you're selling more batteries and circuits and shit like that than anybody else we've ever seen. I was like, well, I don't know. I'm just asking people if they need them. They're like, yeah, well, you're doing great.
You probably need some AA
Do you want to be
batteries,
like
don't
the
you?
district manager / district regional president? I'm like, no.
I don't know. Why does
Hey, good
Radio
call.
Shack
Radio Shack
ask-
doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah. The Shack
Hey, it
now.
could have,
they
though.
tried. They tried for a little
They
while.
did.
to
Maybe
call
they
it
needed
Shack.
you, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know. Why does Radio Shack ask for your
could've-
phone number when
You
you
could have
buy
been the
batteries?
CEO of Radio Shack.
What's that from?
Seinfeld.
Yes,
Yeah.
of course it is. Of course it is. Guys, in a bit of, I'm going to start calling this section of the news the boo
Good news?
hiss
Good
news. Boo! You hiss a silent movie. You boo puppets.
You hiss
boo puppets.
villains. You boo puppets.
Guys, last year when we did our top 10 horror movies of the year, a lot of us had Speak No Evil in the said top 10.
I don't want to talk
correct?
about this.
Yep. Okay, let's talk real quick
upsetting.
about it because we don't have to go in depth. Blumhouse is doing an American remake of Speak No Evil, and I don't know if there's been a more offensive sentence I've ever heard in my entire life.
It's what Americans do. They
You
do
think
the
it's
same
gonna
thing with
be
The Ring,
PG-13?
The Grudge. They do that with all those.
I
If it's
don't know.
PG-13, well, I'm not going to watch it anyway. Actually, I'm going to watch it.
I'm gonna watch
I
it.
have to watch it, just so I can hate it. It's impossible.
There's no chance that they go
No
as
chance.
far.
So James McAvoy's starring in it. He's a good actor.
He was good in Split. I liked him in that.
He's a talented actor.
He's fine.
Here's my thing. I wonder if, with the implementation of streaming services like Shudder or AMC Plus or Prime or whatever else, is there a need for a remake of Evil?
No.
Yes, because people don't
Wasn't
want
it widely available enough on Shudder
Wasn't
for
it also
everybody?
subtitles?
But people don't want to read.
That's 100% what it is.
And it's
People
too,
don't want to
it's
read
too,
subtitles.
It's too brutal for people.
They're going to tone
It's
that
too
down
brutal
so
for
much.
mainstream. They're like, we can make a cash grab out of this and exploit.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I mean,
horror.
who's
It
the,
wasn't
I don't
that
know where-
brutal.
I don't know
The
where
ending is brutal.
That's a
The ending
The ending is
fucking
brutal.
movie that,
The rest of the
that's
other
all you remember,
90%
though.
of the movie
Yeah,
is-
but that's all you
When I-
remember.
when
is
I
the
read
end.
comments on-
so they're going to change the end. You can't change the
This
end.
movie was like widely agreed upon being that ending. Just people were rattled by it. I was fucking rattled.
That
by it.
made. I was very upset. After
that movie
watching it.
fucked
So
me up
I remember
very
you guys both told us that this was the most disturbing movie you've ever seen, and I remember Kat and I watched it, and I was like, you know what, this is definitely a disturbing movie. There have been other parts in movies that have disturbed me
Oh yeah,
more
it's not the most
than
disturbing I've ever
this.
seen. But there's that
But
scene at the end.
I
that fucked me
understand
up.
that the ending is fucked.
It's not even
Like,
just
why?
The ending.
Like, I guess in this day and age, why is there a need for a Blumhouse remake?
It's
why?
money. It's only about
they
money.
just want to make
That's
money.
all it is.
And of course, it's fucking Bumhouse. Go fuck yourself.
Because what's gonna happen?
Just
is,
the
and,
worst.
hey, the
I
best-
used to love him, but now
There's a
I
silver
hate
lining in
him.
all of this because the best part about this is now everyone's gonna go watch the original.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Do you
like
think?
Yeah,
it's
I
like
bet you not.
It's the same thing.
100%.
Look,
Yes.
it was like it's like Let the Right One In, and then they made the remake, and everybody watched that.
Because now it's gonna get traction, and they're gonna be like, "Well, what is this?"
That's the same. That's basically
And, yeah,
the same
it's-
thing.
So
but it's
I,
not a year
I,
later.
I have to come
press.
clean that the first time I saw either of those movies was Let the Right One In, or which is the American remake?
I
Let
think
Me
it was
In.
Let Me In was the original.
Okay, so
Wait.
I saw Let the Right One In.
I think Let Right
That was
was,
what I
the
saw.
one with Chloe
Chevignon.
Moritz.
Yeah. Yep. I
No,
saw that one.
Moritz.
Oh, Chloe Grace Moretz.
Yeah, that one.
Yes, and Richard Jenkins.
And Richard Jenkins. That's actually
He's
not a
fantastic.
bad movie. I actually enjoy
great.
that.
It's a great movie.
So
It's a great
maybe.
So I saw that one. That's probably my. So actually, you know what? That's a good episode. Good idea for an episode. Maybe next week we talk about our biggest horror sin. We talk about this thing that we would never admit to co-horror fans, that we haven't seen said movie, we haven't seen this movie in the particular aspect ratio, we haven't seen this movie at rated the particular way. That's a really good
That's
way.
an interesting
That's
topic,
an interesting
yeah.
topic, huh? Maybe we
So
can do
something
that.
we haven't seen that we don't want to do to people.
Or a movie that we
I'm
everybody
confused.
or even Andrew, like a movie
Yeah.
that everybody loves. This
That
would
you
be
hate.
perfect for you.
Okay.
A movie that everybody loves that you hate, or a movie that everybody loves that you've never seen.
Or a movie that everyone hates that you love.
Correct.
That'd be a
I
good
feel like that'd be a
talk.
really
I got
fun.
a lot of those.
Okay,
I'm into that.
so let's table that.
Put a thumbtack.
So yeah, I mean, I guess
That'd be fun.
my
I can
point in
whiteboard.
bringing it up,
Chalkboard.
you know, I never want to, as a host of this podcast, to watch a movie and for it to be bad, because that just makes for bad content and a bad time for us. Like, I don't have
Yeah,
enough
I
time in my
I
day.
have zero faith in this movie
I
Cat,
don't like shitting on
Yeah.
the movie.
I don't either.
before it's even been made.
Like,
Yeah.
Kat and I have a daughter now. Like, you know, Matt, you have a daughter. Like, there's only so much time in our days. Like,
the fuck are you trying to say? No, I'm just kidding. I
you
don't
only
have
have so much.
I don't have a daughter, so
You co-own
Time
a
to
business.
yourself in the day.
I have a
That is
cat.
what
You have a
mean.
cat and you co-own a business, so you don't have much
Yeah.
time in your day either.
Yeah.
So, like, you want to
7 is
watch?
the-
Yeah, 7's a good.
No, but
Anyway.
I'm definitely actually going to watch. I'm going to watch it with the eyes of hate this movie. So much shit about it. Oh, I am.
That's fine. But what I'm
Very
saying is,
negative
like, you only have
human
so
being.
much time in your day, so, like, you can't just, like, it sucks when you watch something and you're like, this was absolutely a waste of my time. Which I feel like, to me, happens not so frequently. Okay, bad movie, one thing. A movie where I'm like, this was a waste of my time and my effort. That's rare. So that would be an interesting type of thing to try and look at. So
Do they do like
anyway,
I think I know what they're
boo
going to do.
hiss. I hope
don't
that
know.
the Blumhouse remake of Speak No Evil is not that. That's what I'm
So
saying.
here's what it's going to be. I think it might be the same exact movie, but it's just going to be.
Or the
No, you can't. You
How
can't
could
make
you make it woke besides being like having diverse characters, right?
It might be like a lesbian. Like that'll be that, but that'll be the difference. But we made this movie, and then it'll be like, what did you change? Nothing really. And then we stole the ending.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Like
don't
I
know.
feel like
I just feel like if
the
you're,
point of that movie is that nothing matters and everybody.
But
is,
they do this all the time, though. Like The Ring was a The Grudge.
Yeah.
So it's nothing
Shudder.
new.
You can hit or miss. I mean,
missed
the
call.
ring remake.
And I feel like
It's been
I feel
it's
like,
been happening
and also
10 years.
and also
Chainsaw
they
remake, I
don't
love.
wait.
But that's not a
They-
remake of a foreign movie. There's
True.
that's the
Yeah, I'm
thing
saying
is you're
foreign
taking
movies, like
something
remakes
from
of a
another
foreign
country
movie
where they're
and remaking
able to
it where
kind
they'll
of do
watch
these
it.
things.
But I just don't know why people can't just fucking read subtitles. That's 100% what the.
It's
Okay.
because of money.
Well, obviously it's.
But like I said, I do believe
It is ridiculous that
I-
like people think that Americans are so stupid that they can't read subtitles.
I don't
and
think
here
it's
we
they
are.
think. I don't think they.
And now they're
think
gonna
it's
make
a
they're gonna
fact.
remake it with a handsome person, and then it's gonna be fucking.
Kat, how
great.
long did it take you to start watching things with
What-
subtitles?
I got kind of weaned into it, but I
'Cause
I,
of
now
me,
I either
yeah.
because I think you turned them on one day, and I was like, I either read them or I don't. Like it's just
for
Yeah.
me, I'm like 60-40.
Yeah.
60 being subtitles.
I watch
Yeah.
subtitles
and 40
on most
being
shit.
movies in English.
We've had this conversation.
Yeah.
I put everything
You
on subtitles.
actually, you
because-
were you were
because
the
I
one that
can't-
started.
Because
it.
I can't. I must have bad hearing, or I don't have the attention.
Or
Like,
you have
I need to
ADD.
see. I need to see and hear it, and then I love it so much more.
Yeah,
If I don't.
I watch subtitles with every movie no matter what, but
yeah.
I mean movies in another language.
Well, yeah, that's a
Right,
different
yeah.
thing.
60.
But it's the same thing. You're
Yeah.
reading it, but you can't look away. There's
You
no
have to-
time.
you
You
have
have
to
to
watch
watch
the
the movie,
movie.
and that's what I like about it. It makes you watch the movie.
right.
So Matt is correct though, because it is an entirely different experience when you're watching a movie in a foreign language and you have to read versus when you are looking at a movie that's
Listening,
in
you don't
English
have to
and
read.
listening.
You just
You're
listen
hearing
to-
it, and then
yeah.
you can look up
Kinda see a
occasionally and be
little
like,
bit, but
yeah,
I
you know
feel
what?
like there too is. I'm willing to allow for the fact that there's probably people that are reading it and have trouble reading while watching it because that's like a learned thing. It's
it takes a
learned
little
thing.
bit to get used
It
to.
takes about 5 movies before you can finally be like, oh, okay, I can read
I
this.
think
you're
and
also
watch
I
it.
think it depends on
It's a
everyone
lear-
too.
yeah, it's a learned thing
You're
though, so
watching-
I get that. Like I can allow for that.
But you're watching and
So
there's
But it's like you're
there's
only
a
getting
lot
like
going on
you're only
in
getting like
foreign film.
7 or 8 words at a time.
Honestly,
But there's also people that learn
You
how to
know what?
speak other languages by watching subtitles.
Is there more of a way to engage in a movie than that when you're watching, listening, and reading?
being in a movie theater.
Pretty
That's
much.
the only other way. In my opinion, it just I think in this day and age where there's so much shit to just constantly be distracted by, that's the thing. Like it's people having a reason to put their phone down. Obviously, you want a movie that's going to engage you no matter what.
Yeah.
You want a subject that's you're going to be wrapped up in, which this is a movie that for sure had my attention. It front to back. Like
Yeah.
I was locked into this movie, didn't look at my phone once. And that wasn't just because it was in Danish.
It's because fucking awesome.
it was because I was-
enveloping.
yeah,
It was
I
an
was-
awesome movie.
yeah.
Yeah, it made all 3 of our top
But
10s.
I
think Cats too. Actually, I think yours was the highest.
For what?
I think she was like
Speak
3
on the
Oh,
list.
yeah.
I
Three,
think I
two,
had it.
three, two or
I
three?
think
It
I
was
had
more
it
three,
at.
I think, yeah.
I had it at 4.
You know,
I think mine was
I
at
don't
3.
have it written down anywhere. I will go back and listen.
I think they were all top 5.
Yeah, I think
It was
so.
top 5 for all
Top
of
five
us
for all of
easily.
us,
I feel like
easily, yeah.
because
Yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, you guys were harping on it for a long time, and I finally watched it, and I was like, my God, wow, holy fuck.
Because then you're like, don't watch it, don't watch it, don't
Yeah.
watch it.
Well,
I'm
it's a
like,
subject matter, like,
I
and like
know.
having my daughter was only 10 months old when I saw it, so
Yeah.
I was like, oof, like
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. But I do think I will die on that hill. I think this whole fucking spiel in press about this, it doesn't come out till 2024.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
Dude,
harp on
I
it.
will 100% guarantee the views of the original movie are going to fucking
yeah.
skyrocket.
So, having said this, in the near future,
Because now it's just going to pick up
should
steam,
we do a
too.
dedicated episode to this movie?
Maybe we'll see. I mean,
I could talk
2024. I
about
hope
this
we're
movie.
still here. I think we will be. But what I was gonna say, I mean, you know what, Matt? Like, I did not even consider that possibility. You're right though, because this is
It's
nothing
publicity.
but good publicity
Yeah.
for the first movie.
Whether
Even
it's
though
that new
even
one
though
sucks,
it takes away from the integrity of the first movie.
It doesn't take away
Yeah,
from the integrity.
right.
No,
of the movie,
because if they fuck up, it
yeah,
that's
this
all it
movie's
is,
going to
is
be
the first one was better.
because this movie's going
Yeah.
to get at least say 20% of people that are interested in the movie that's coming out to watch the original. So that's 20% more viewers, and that's an unscientific amount of percentage.
Yeah, that was just
but it's
the
it's just
blind
off the cuff.
throw.
But I'm
Yeah.
saying that's a conservative 1/5. That's like 1 out of us, except there's 4 of us, and Bridget. So Bridget's the one that's not going to watch it.
Do you think
And
part?
you're not.
Okay, so here's the thing that's automatically
That makes
working
any sense.
against the remake. Don't you think that like part of the appeal and the shock of the initial movie was the fact that everybody in it was not a movie star?
Yeah.
I do, but you know what would make the remake good is if they could somehow get Javier Bardem. If he could be like the main role.
I feel like that goes to my point.
No,
I
no,
think
no,
that'd
no,
make
no,
it
no. That would
worse.
be. I don't think it
It'd
works.
make it worse.
I think I get where Andrew's coming from. Like he could
Like
make a
Jaguar,
pretty scary
like he would be like
performance from
such a
that
scary
character.
performance as that guy.
Yeah.
I would be down. But Blumhouse is not getting.
Okay, so now I understand what you're saying, and I agree because I love Javier Bardem. He's a great actor.
But yeah, no, I think.
But like,
that's
you understand
a
what
big-
I'm saying,
yeah.
though, right? Like, I feel
Blumhouse
like
isn't going to get anybody knows.
No.
It's going to be a bunch of loser kids.
And
they'll
James
never
McAvoy.
pay. For
They're going to
huge
turn it into
actor.
like a teenage fucking movie.
But
Be like, this
any-
is, Megan's going to show up. And
I swear to
fucking
God, if the
spur
remake's
something.
PG-13, I will.
That's a bad move. That's a
I don't
bad
know how
move.
you can make this. It's not the same movie. You're not remaking anything. You just made a different movie.
Yeah.
If
true.
this is PG-13, because that's
All right,
impossible.
guys, real quick before we go into a great movie that we're going to cover tonight, that was a Matt pick. We should probably move on to other things. So, anywho, guys, Yellowjackets episode 4. My chili ran hot the other night, and I think I said that I was completely
you're
done
going off.
carrying the water of this show and sticking up for it when nothing interesting is really happening.
Had you watched the new episode at that point?
I think I had. I had a lot of beers that night. I was in a crazy headspace. But anyway, I feel like it's not that outrageous for me to say that has guys or agree with or disagree with me. Has this season of Yellowjackets been disappointing so far? Andrew, go.
So until I came over your house Friday night, Saturday night, whatever. and
Friday night.
We watched episode because I had kind of,
Yeah. I remember.
like I said before, though, this is to be completely open and honest.
I'd say too.
It takes a lot-
Episode 4 was my favorite episode of the
Okay,
season.
so it's heating up a bit.
Correct.
Okay, because
Taking way too long to get there.
like
But
way
I kind
too
of
long.
there's still so much stuff going. There's so much stuff going on,
it's too much.
and I'm enjoying watching the little pieces of each story kind of develop. The stuff and like the low key, one of the low key best plot points is
Don't even say Nat.
Christina
and
Ricci.
Locke.
No.
Oh
Christina
my
Ricci
God.
and Elijah Moore.
No,
And Walter,
Shauna.
the best.
Shauna is an adult.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
great.
that's
the
Yeah.
rails.
Yeah, that's wild. So I've really become invested in that whole story. Anytime it goes back to them being kids, obviously you're locked in. And then Elijah Wood and Christina Ricci is pretty good. The stuff with Natalie, I don't really care. But I know I have to pay attention because it's gonna matter
It's gonna,
or something.
yeah.
So
Everything's gonna
Yeah,
align.
everything with Shauna and Jeff's fucking insane too. That whole
Yeah, their
Yeah,
family's
that thing
fucked.
is crazy.
Like this, that is probably the best aspect of the show.
So can I explain to you my disappointment a little bit?
Sure.
So for one, at the end of season 1, you kind of thought that Lottie was going to be the big villain of the next season. I feel like she's just been a normal person.
I don't know. I definitely think she's still the
She's
villain.
up to something.
Yeah,
Well,
there's
there's
something going
there's
on.
clearly some weird shit going on, but in the first 4 episodes, she is a big nothing burger, Matt.
I think
a big old
there's
fart
gonna
off
be,
a birthday.
There's going to be
cake, my
some
friend.
sort of sacrifice thing with her little cult or
Yeah.
something.
I
There
gotta
has to
say,
be.
like the least interesting part of
Fart
the
off
show
birthday.
for me is Nat staying with Lottie in in present day. That's terrible.
Well,
it's so boring, awful, the worst.
To you, what do you enjoy more about the show? Like, so if you could watch more of one when it actually
Cannibal
happened.
stuff?
Yeah, what? No, like the original
Cabin
like,
stuff?
Yeah. So you want to I
You
want to
wanna
know
stay
more
in
about
97.
in
Yeah.
'97.
Like,
I
not
wanna
even
see more
necessarily
of
that,
I
but-
feel like they don't give enough of that, which they do, but.
Well, I feel like they give. Here's the issue: is that they now have an ensemble cast. They have to devote a lot of time to each particular character and actor.
Why?
That's
Just
an
pay
issue.
the person less money. You
Cat,
have to do less
you can
scenes.
talk
You
on
don't
this.
Have to do as much
You gotta,
work.
you
This
gotta
is an
separate
issue.
the Hollywood from the story.
It's also Juliette Lewis.
If
Take a
you-
look at her fucking.
Okay, well, okay. Either way,
Yeah, seriously, a
Well,
catcher's
let's not
Yeah,
even focus.
going down, sir. What's his name? Fucking Droopy Dog or whatever his name is.
Yeah,
That's her. She's fucking Droopy
Droopy
Dog or
Dog.
whatever the fuck.
Droopy Dog, yeah.
Her face is just Droop City, which is okay. It happens.
Hey, you know what's natural?
It is.
Good for
Good
her.
for her. At least you don't look like that fucking Scream mask known as Courtney Cox.
Madonna.
Whatever the fuck.
Yeah, Donna looks bad too.
She's gonna one day. Courtney Cox is gonna find you.
Her and
she
Juliette
is
Lewis are gonna show
retweet
up,
you
and I'll be like, if you took your face and your face, you'd have a normal face.
You guys would look great.
Your face too tight, your face too loose. What do? You just.
Perfect.
Oh, perfect medium. There you go. Like
I'm not. That's. Is that like? Am I getting canceled?
Are you gonna cancel?
That's too
for any of that?
superficial.
No,
You're a piece of shit.
Sorry,
that's your
because you were
opinion.
real.
That's your
I mean, you
opinion.
didn't say anything
Nope.
racist or like an asshole.
No.
So no,
I said it
you're
jokingly too, and said LOL.
There
You
you
did
go.
say
When
LOL.
you say LOL, yeah, that implies you're joking.
That means
yeah.
that it's only
That
funny.
means it's just a joke.
Lolling.
Emoji, smiley face
Yeah.
emoji.
Crying,
Especially
laughing
when you
face
say-
emoji.
Yeah, that's the biggest.
Especially when you say LOL out loud, that makes me LOL that much harder. Yes.
Ha ha ha.
Reminds me of that Curb Your Enthusiasm episode.
So I'm assuming it's going to be a 10 episodes.
Yeah.
We're only at episode 4.
Yeah, I know.
We're gonna get heating up.
Stop
We
being
already got a
impatient, Mike.
big old cannibal scene that happened. We had that weird
That
little
taste
trip
of,
happen
like-
with this last episode with Lottie when she was out hunting. And then, dude, the one thing, this is what wrapped me up. This is when I texted you guys about the episode, was when they lose the fucking.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my
Yeah.
god, dude! I like wanted them
See,
to.
yeah,
get
I
it
haven't
so
seen the
bad.
episode
Oh,
yet.
sorry.
Still.
Fuck, I didn't know that. I thought you watched it. Jesus Christ,
Why didn't you
Andrew.
tell us this, Andrew, you asshole?
I said that. I said the last time I watched the show was when I watched episode
Watch
3
the
at your
fucking
house.
show, you idiot.
No, but that's what he said. He said he hadn't watched
I thought
it.
he meant like he hadn't watched the third one until
No.
Friday.
No, I
See,
saw the third one.
I
haven't
can
seen
just,
the fourth
I know,
one.
I know now, knowing him, you're off the show now. You're all set, right?
No, he's not.
You're all
He said
good.
he's only
No,
one
I'll watch it again, but I'm
behind.
gonna watch it. I'm gonna wait until
He's out.
I'm gonna
He's out.
I'm gonna wait.
He's out.
I'm
He's
gonna wait till there's 3
Catherine.
episodes to watch, and I'm
Is
gonna
he
go.
out? Or is he
my
out?
my mind is just gonna go. I don't have anything I want to watch because there's other things I've been watching because I get distracted, so I watch something stupid that I
Like
shouldn't be watching.
what? Golf?
Like whatever the fuck I want to
YouTube
watch.
videos?
What are you, my dad?
Yes! Yes! What are you watching that's
Actually,
better
you
than
have
this
been told
show?
that you. Is that your dad?
Yes, I was confused for your
Yes.
dad at a restaurant one time when I walked in with you. And
This
I
was
wasn't
like a
even
year.
carrying
This was like
you.
a year ago.
I was standing
Andrew,
next to
is this
you.
your dad? I'm like, no, that's.
Nope,
Michael's.
that's. Oh, is this your dad? I was like, no, it's a
That's
guy
wild.
that's
That's
a
wild.
year,
Dude,
a
wild.
year younger than
Wild.
me. You're older, fucker.
I was like, is that like why? Because he's taller than me, and he's wearing a vest. I
Taller,
don't fucking
more
know.
handsome, wearing a vest.
What is
The
he?
best.
Because he's just like Michael J. Fox from fucking Back to the Future.
Careful,
Maybe.
careful, Dean. Fuck you. Eat shit.
All right, but I'm sorry. I thought you watched it. But that scene in particular,
You know what? I can.
I was
can
like
block it out.
that. I was like wrapped
Block
up.
it out.
Like the
I was-
white moose, or just a different
No.
moose?
No, different moose. Doesn't
So
matter.
a white
You'll-
moose
you'll
or a white animal.
Just watch it.
Just so you know, is a
Spirit.
an omen for negative death and
Bad
negative
things.
things. So could be
Oh, so it's the opposite of Harry Potter.
could be curtains for Nat. We'll see what happens. All right, guys. So anyway, so
Let's say at the end of this episode, you see Van as an adult.
Which I feel like that's the
Yes.
biggest thing. That's the biggest movement forward in the plot progression, right? Is that you get Lauren Ambrose as Van, which is
alive.
awesome.
And she's
like,
what is she
hey,
on like a little?
I
Like,
love
hot
Can't
shop?
Hardly Wait. One of my favorite
you'll-
movies.
Is it
of all
Van
time.
Morrison?
No.
No.
No, that would be cool.
Andrew?
Never mind.
Do you watch a show
Pass.
called
I know,
Yellow
I'm
Jackets?
just kidding.
Pass.
I thought it was funny. No?
Yes, it was funny.
Van Jefferson?
It was like
No.
when you said Eli Stick.
Yeah.
Eli Stick, and I was like, what? And you were like, oh yeah, Eli Wood's nickname. And I was like, oh, okay, yes, +1.
Hilarious.
Oh, guys. Anyway, anyone have anything watch list worthy before we move into the Wicker Man, which I know Matt's raring to talk about. Right
I
now,
watched.
son.
I'm gonna do a couple quick ones, and then I have one important one, I guess. But I got this haul of movies that I've been waiting for from a sale. But I got this box set of Herschel Gordon Lewis. He's basically dubbed the Godfather of. He made a bunch of movies in the '60s that were like old school. They're not great, but in terms of practical special effects, they definitely are notable. I watched Blood Feast and just about a serial killer, and then I watched 2000 Maniac, which if you've ever seen 2001 Maniacs with Robert Englund,
the
that's
band?
a
That's
No, it's
10,000.
10,000.
Yeah.
Maniacs.
I was just going to say that.
that they're named after the movie, but that's a remake / sequel to the original one. But it's the same
Okay.
thing. A bunch of northern people get lured into a southern town and murdered.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, wild movies. They're over the top. They're poorly acted and they're bloody as hell. So they're great.
Over the top, poorly acted, bloody as hell.
Yeah,
3
so
bullets.
they're
One
It's
fun.
like
Yeah.
bang.
horror to me.
Yep, that sounds great.
And then I watched Cocaine Bear yesterday.
Oh, dude, nice. What'd you think?
I thought it was the dumbest fucking.
Oh, get lost.
I know
Oh, my God.
it was. I got like I understood. It
Go
was,
dig a
it-
hole.
It was funny, but I was just like, all right, like I definitely wasn't. I wasn't into it.
Catherine, are you hearing this? Are you
Yeah, I
gonna
know.
comment
He's not
on
into
this?
Cocaine
Hello.
Bear.
Yes, I was asking you to. Yeah.
Snapchat.
Anyway,
I'm
Matt,
catching
continue.
Pokemon.
Sorry.
I just like the humor just didn't hit for me. I didn't find it funny.
Dude, I love that movie
So,
so
I
much.
still haven't
I'm
seen
so-
it. What's better? We've talked about Grizzly 2, The Revenge, or Cocaine Bear.
Cocaine Bear.
It's definitely gory as fuck. Like it's wild, but it's.
I thought I thought Cocaine Bear rocked.
I
Sorry.
thought like humor wise, and it's funny because she's in that movie Slither. She was definitely trying to like get that humor that they had in, and it just missed the mark. It was very like slapsticky, but like in my opinion, Slither is one of the funniest horror comedies ever made.
Yeah, Slither's awesome.
I'd have to give it
But
another
this,
watch.
it just, I
Dude,
don't
the
know. It was
gore,
just a
the
little
gore
too,
in Slither is
ridiculous.
ridiculous.
I think I saw that once like 12 years ago.
Slither's a great fucking movie. That movie's insane.
Slither's the movie that has the person that got.
Should this be one of the movies
bit
that I
by
feel
the
bad
alien?
for not seeing?
Borderline.
Maybe,
Close?
yeah.
Close?
Yeah.
Michael Rooker.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
he's-
played-
I keep thinking of Splice when you
He
say
was
Slither.
Merle
I fucking
in,
hated
Walking
Splice.
Dead.
He was also Henry in Henry.
That's also
Oh.
correct. Yep. Was in,
Definitely
he's,
haven't-
he's in a bunch of shit.
Definitely haven't seen
Ooh,
shit.
that might be my next.
So you didn't like Cocaine Bear?
I didn't think it was great. I thought it was definitely overhyped.
Do you have some thoughts to counter Matt's thoughts? I know we
Well, we
watched
talked
it.
about
We
it.
talked about it a while back. So what do you have to say about it now?
I mean, I think it
Weeks
was
later.
slapstick, but I get why
Yeah.
you wouldn't like it. Like it's
I
definitely
just
a certain
have
type
like
of humor.
when it comes to comedy, it's like
I'm
I think I'm
gonna
just so
confuse.
tainted with like dark
mayonnaise
adult
answer.
humor.
Seriously.
I have such
what
like
a mayonnaise answer.
I like mayonnaise.
Yeah,
Clearly,
so,
because that
yeah.
answer
Apparently
was
you do.
fucking dredged. Well, I like your
I
opinion.
wish we were able to see the face that you just made.
That was a mashed potato sandwich of an answer.
Mike asked you to counteract
Gross.
Matt's point, and you're just like, well, I
Yeah.
like this part, but I get how you wouldn't like it. And it was like mayonnaise. Like,
what
what's
do you
your
mean?
no, tell him that
That's
movie
the
is
cat.
awesome, and you
Hello.
suck. And they're wrong.
I'm fucked up, and we haven't even talked about the movie yet. So I'm
What?
just gonna
What
pass
movie?
on this. Oh,
Boo.
speaking of which,
Oh, you
Well,
actually
the
did
only
like
thing
a
is-
hiss. You didn't
I
do
know
a
it is.
hiss.
going.
The only thing I'm
Matt,
saying is
Matt.
like my sense of humor. I'm just so tainted with such a dark and just brutally adult sense of humor that anything that like falls below that line.
Is our sense of humor
Well,
juvenile?
that
Is
was-
that what
No,
you're
no,
saying?
no. But I'm just saying, like you know what I mean. Like this was just like it was cheesy. But not to
wicked
say that I
cheesy.
don't love cheesy horror movies.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. This by no means was a bad movie, but it just was not what I.
It wasn't your
Now
type.
wasn't
I
what
know-
I was hoping.
Now
for,
I know
yeah.
what my next pick.
What?
Butcher Baker Nightmare.
Dude, I'm waiting for you to pull the
Dude,
trigger on this
I-
thing, man. I haven't watched that yet.
It's so
I'm,
bad.
I'm only
but we
waiting
gotta-
until
we
you
need-
pick it.
The beginning scene of this movie is so good.
Just to be able to hear Andrew talk about it, I'm on board.
After this
I'm on
podcast,
board.
I may give you the teaser. I want to watch the first 5 minutes of this and then see if you were not like.
I just want...
Into
No, I
it
gotta
big
watch
time.
the whole thing at once.
No.
But
it's
yeah,
a weird movie.
Cocaine Bear didn't do it for me. But and also it was like the whole thing was just like super, obviously you can't have a real bear, but it wasn't like great CGI.
Yeah.
So
This is why I'm leaning
thought it
towards
was okay.
Grizzly
I
2:
thought
The
it was
Revenge.
okay.
I think that's probably a better movie.
I mean, okay, whatever you guys want.
The only
do.
CGI
Hey,
is the concert scenes
listen.
that took place last year from 19.
But it was. I
As a-
appreciated what Elizabeth thanks.
Thanks.
I appreciate what she did. I'm gonna give her give her
Yeah.
flowers because she took a big swing and a lot of people fucking loved it. So props to her. I hope she continues to make more horror movies because she definitely had the right idea. And like I said, the gore was there. It's just the tone didn't land.
Yeah.
So.
I thought it was.
Sure,
I'm
that's all I got.
surprised.
Well, that's because you're a boner.
Well, also true. Way to go! Oh man,
That's strike one for Andrew against Mike. Let's see what else.
It's just the cat.
It's just what's going to happen now is that Andrew's now going to make fun of me. And,
Well,
dude,
first it was
you know what?
now
The
it's
way
Mike,
these
then it'll be
two
Matt.
feed
It's
off each
fucking
other.
round and round
If
we go.
Andrew
I did
does
not
make fun
expect
of
you to
me,
say that.
Kat
You're
is
a boner.
1,000% going to be the one rooting him on. Be like,
Yes.
yeah, call him a loser. Yeah, tell him he's ugly. Tell him he's a fat slob.
You know what that shows, though?
Yep, absolutely.
You can only say those things to people you love. So.
Well, get fucked. Either way. I started watching a show which you can find on Amazon Prime Video right now called From. Andrew, you may have talked about this.
I talked about them.
From
Them.
I've heard about From though, and I've heard that's all.
So apparently I've never heard of this streaming service before, but it's MGM Plus. Okay.
It's
No
probably like
thanks.
Paramount Plus. That's
Yeah, $1.
MGM. Well, MGM is.
Like Metro Goldwyn Mayer, like the
Apparently,
Yeah,
you
that's a
get,
lot of
you get all the
movies.
But MGM
all the
got
James
bought
Bond
out.
movies and a bunch of other shit. I
They
don't
could
know.
say something.
Oh, did it?
doesn't exist anymore.
No.
MGM,
So-
wait, Mike, MGM doesn't exist anymore because they got bought out by.
Well, apparently they have their own streaming
No,
service.
there
for
is a
$1.
streaming service
There's
called
another MGM.
MGM Plus.
65
I will bet
cents
you
a month.
$1,000. But anyway, feel free
a full dollar.
to battle me. Anyway, so yeah, the
It's
first
like
season
they're
of
fucking
From, it's pretty
donating
cool.
money to children starving and like you're like, here's 65 cents a day. 65
I will
cents
say,
a day.
if you watch the show, it's
That's a lot
on
more.
Prime Video. It hits hard within
it's
the
like-
first 5 minutes.
It's called From.
From.
F-R-O-M-M-E.
Kat watched it,
From.
and whether or not she remembers,
I was
she
gonna
was
say,
like,
I watched
nah, I'm all set. Within the first 2.5
From,
minutes,
not
before
From.
she even saw anything that even happened. So
What was it about?
I was
it's
gonna say, I don't
basically so there are people that drive into this town where they
From
get,
another town.
Yep, they get stuck, and there's no escape. They can't leave, and there are these beings that live on the outskirts,
Oh yeah, this
which
is
you
hard
may
pass.
or may not be able to see,
Like this.
that attack you. And I've only seen the first episode and a half, so I don't really know too much beyond that.
So you only have
that's
a
that.
little bit of a toe in there.
And did they only attack you?
Kat saw it, and she was like,
time?
I think it's vampire stuff. I'm all set. Fuck you. You're a loser for showing this to me. And I was like,
Pass.
wow,
That's
okay,
it.
cool.
Hard pass.
It'd be funny if it was just like
Get
they
it from all angles.
they only
Okay.
attack you when you're
Yeah,
doing some
all
like
angles. All angles.
they just attack you when you're
Why
doing
would you
some
show
like
this to me? Like,
mundane
Waste my
thing.
time.
It's like you're brushing your teeth, attack, or you're like you're combing your. They only
Yeah.
attack then. They never attack when you're out.
Nope.
Just when you're doing weird stuff.
Just all weird
Just
stuff.
masturbating.
Weird
they just
stuff.
attack you.
Yeah, weird stuff. Define weird
You're in your
stuff.
car. You're Reese McGuire for the Red Sox, just masturbating and you're just fucking. You're like,
That's also
what?
true. All right,
Nobody's
guys.
coming
Well, hey, I'll tell you what. Hey, it's
what are you?
Thought about the Red Sox for a second.
All right.
Hey guys, it's 8:24 p.m.
Where your children are?
Oh
Do you
my
know-
God! Do you remember those commercials? Those were
Do you
so.
know what your
That was like
podcasts
right
are?
around the news, right?
Hey guys, by the way, we're taking a break right now. Let's take a quick 90-second break for a word from our sponsors. We'll be right back.
It's official. The critics' decision is in. Spooky World is spooktacular. Enter the new black hole. If you dare. Or the new horror House of Wax. This year, don't miss the real Jason, Bobby Pickett, or Alice Cooper. Phone the 24-hour Spooky World hotline. 508-838-0200. That's 508-838-0200. Spooky World is just west of Boston and haunts every night from October 1st till November 1st. If you had the nerve, you'd phone 508-838-0200. It's American Horror Theme Park, Spooky World.
Don't be scared. I'm the super sweet monster with the super sweet new cereal, Count Chocula.
Biffle, here's the super sweet new cereal, Frankenberry.
But I've got chocolate sweeties for monstrous chocolate flavor.
Well, I got berry-flavored sweeties for monster strawberry flavor.
Count Chocula.
Frankenberry.
Hi.
Frankenberry.
Count Chocula.
Sleepy Clovers.
It's alive! It's alive!
The new face of evil is going to scare you to death. Barrett's Haunted Mansion. It's killer this year. Then be next door to the Abington Ale House. Barrett's Haunted Mansion. Eat, drink, and be scary. Go to bhmansion.com.
It's a long episode, huh?
All right, yeah, so Fun's cool. That's a cool show you can watch on video. Anyway, guys, are we ready to talk about...
Okay.
I thought you said fun school. I was like, fun school?
Fun School, yes.
Fun school.
Fun schools. Fun school is cool. A cool place to go for fun and school.
School is cool.
Well, you said from school. You said from
Are we
school.
going to talk about the Wicker Man at some point tonight?
Yeah, maybe.
Like, I mean...
I'm trying to transition
Can we
into
get
that
there?
right now.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I'm
anyway,
distracted.
hey guys,
Let's talk about the Wicker Man. Like,
hey, we're back,
geez.
guys. Why don't we talk about the Wicker Man a little bit? It's a movie that's absolutely one of the more influential horror movies of all, especially if you think about, you know, what's the thing? If you look at a movie like Midsommar, okay? Midsommar does not exist
Yes, you're correct.
without the Wicker Man.
100%.
It was a Matt pick. It was a great pick, and it's a good movie, and I have a lot of thoughts about it, but I feel like I should let Matt talk about it first. Matt, talk to me about
Your
Yeah.
pick, the Wicker
the
Man.
Wicker Man. The Wicker Man.
The Wicker Man. This is one of my top 10 favorite horror.
Really?
Yeah, I love this movie. It's like weirdly like a comfort too.
So, like, how many watches a year?
Probably 2.
2?
Yeah, spring. It's a springtime movie.
Absolutely.
Wow, maybe.
Yeah.
Fair enough, though.
And so I love, and I don't know, I've never watched like a high def copy of this. I've only watched it like the Shudder copy that they have is nice in 70s. So it's really, really enjoyable for me because I like that. It's the 50-year anniversary this year. I imagine
It'd be cool if they released it in theaters.
that'd be sick too. I know that they recently put out like a big release for it, but I'm like, well, this is the 50-year anniversary, and it did actually get announced. So I'll be. The Exorcist is.
Yeah. More on that later.
But I love this movie. I just think it's so well done, and it's so enjoyable to watch because it's got like it's almost like a dark comedy because you're like it's funny because it's ridicuve, and you have basically
Until the end. Yeah.
until the end. Then the end gets like really real quick. Especially like if you've never seen this before and you think to the first time I watched it, I was like, oh, jeez, like that. Ooh. But it's basically what it's about. It's a super Puritan Christian British cop who is sent to this isle in Scotland with a report of a missing girl, and he keeps going around and finding out that this girl didn't actually exist, and it's kind of like they're playing games with him, they're fucking with him. There's a lot of information that are kind of teetering back and forth, and it's him trying to figure out where she and why she's. And as it kind of unravels, you have just one of the best horror movies, arguably, of all fucking time.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
And it's just amazing. There's so much music in this movie, and it's so good. The shots in this movie are fantastic. Christopher Lee is unbelievable. He is just the most fucking, like, nonchalant bad guy, and it's fucking great.
Can I ask you guys something?
Sure.
Since we're probably going to be talking about this throughout the episode. Andrew, I know your answer. Matt, Andrew, were you guys raised, like, religious?
I went to Catholic school as a kid, but it wasn't.
Okay.
Did you go to Sacred Heart?
Yeah.
I was raised culty.
Okay.
I
enough.
was raised for 10 years.
As was I, Kat.
So I can
And
get
I only
along with
went for
I can
5.
get along with these
I
people
went
on the
for a very
Wicker,
long time.
the Wicker Man Island, Shiresburg, like Count Shiresburg, or what his name is.
But they're all pagan.
Yeah.
But you didn't go to Catholic school.
No, I didn't. I went to public school, but I think my biggest thing about this whole, I was watching it, and I was just, you know what? It's kind of ridiculous how the, or anybody really, but like the main character, the cop.
Lucky he wasn't killed within 10 minutes of being on.
Oh,
the
absolutely.
He was a fucking
But
asshole.
He looks at himself as so superior to everybody else on this island. I thought
It's very pretentious.
Which is
he's
why
a
it makes him the
pretentious,
fool.
arrogant asshole the entire time to everybody, and the entire time, just because he's a Christian, he thinks he's so much better than everybody else on this island. But with that being said, he's not killing it, in a Burning Man.
He would if he could.
Probably.
He would arrest all of them and lock them up for treason against
But
Jesus.
the whole time I watched this movie, I couldn't help but think about the dichotomy between, Christianity and paganism, right? Because the whole thing is about, he just comes there and he's, looking at everything and like, oh, I'm so much better than you guys. Like, here I am, you're worshiping fucking weird gods. I'm not. I'm worshiping the God, the Jesus Christ, which it's just so weird. What
There
makes
also
you
were
think?
children dancing naked.
Yes,
So
I
it
know.
wasn't completely wrong.
Okay,
Right.
I didn't finish yet, but obviously
This is
their beliefs were really fucked up.
His beliefs are just as fucked up, though. It's two ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Their beliefs are fucked up. His beliefs are fucked up. The problem with Christians is that they think
took
that they're the
words right out of
greatest.
my mouth.
They think they're so good. No religion is better than another.
What makes him think that he's any better than these people?
One of
Obviously, before he
his
knows
religion.
that they're going to kill children and whatever else.
No, but they weren't ever going to kill the children. They just wanted to
Right.
kill
It was
him.
a
It was all
test.
like it was.
But
It
It was
set
like
up.
it was like the
starting to
game with
believe-
Michael Douglas.
They
Like, he got
were
caught.
leading. They literally were playing chess while he was playing checkers. They
Right.
had him
Yeah.
cornered at every single fucking peg. But I will say, to the point you were making, there's the conversation he's having with Lord Summerisle, and there's a thing with him saying like what is it that you believe? And he's saying we believe that they die and their souls become part of the trees and this, that, and the other thing, or an animal or whatever. And he's like, so none of these children have ever learned of Jesus Christ. He's like, yeah, Jesus Christ, the son born of a mother
A ghost.
of no
Yeah.
set.
Great.
Just it was just
So
a perfect
Yeah.
slam onto what he was trying to say. The Immaculate Conception. Yeah, I get what you're talking about, but he was just basically being like, you're telling me I'm ridiculous and this is what
And you believe
just
in
said.
that. This
Yeah.
is what you believe in.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
And I feel like in that time period,
essentially
1973, that's
believe the
a
same
risk
thing.
for that movie to make.
Well,
They were slamming Christianity. That movie, to me, was basically like Christianity can go self.
you have to look at the movies that came out in that time period. There's 4 big movies that came out in this
Well, Exorcist.
in an 8-year span. You have Rosemary's Baby. I could actually say you have 5 because you do have The Devils come out in either 71 or 72. And then you have The Exorcist, you have The Wicker Man, and you have The Omen in 70.
They're all just a big.
And all 5 of those movies were blasphemy when they came out, but they were absolutely had they had this whole revolving door of just religion and society just kind of going in completely opposite.
turnstile.
Yeah.
It was a
literally.
huge. It was a huge
buddy.
changing in movie history. Finally, people were able to say what they felt. I feel like it was a huge statement.
Well, there was a freedom thing too. And meanwhile, while you had this happen,
Right.
so
People were just sick of it. We're gonna say what I want to say, and it should be that way.
it is.
Fuck that movie. Well,
now.
finally.
But yeah, no, this movie, I and what you're saying with it has that whole religious aspect to it, which is that's an enjoyable part of it. And it obviously you can see what the off the top of my head, I know it's based on it, but that's they were getting a point across, and it's the hypocrisy of being well, this guy suffered and everyone thought it was great, and you love him for that, but you're suffering, and now we're the bad guy. So it's like that kind of like back and forth mentality.
Well, he was the martyr that he always wanted to be.
Right. Or worshipped. Yeah. So, but other than that, you have great set pieces. This is a fucking incredibly shot movie.
Wherever they shot it, the location.
They're somewhere in Scotland.
I would think so.
Yeah, it was like Banshees of Inisherin. Did you ever see that? The set pieces were
not
great.
yet.
It's the same thing.
Colin Farrell.
Yeah.
Gotta watch it.
But like I said, and I just love like some of the like they have these like crash zooms on people's faces right now. It's just such 70s filmmaking. And I really, I just like the 70s so they knew exactly what to do, just the vibes to capture. And this is like one of them. And this one's cool because it's fucking different. It's not from America. It's from Britain. It's a UK movie.
That's why it's good.
Yeah. And it just had that extra element to it that was like it broke away from the Hammer horror that had taken over, which they still borrowed Christopher Lee from it, which is fine because Christopher Lee's a fucking...
And they wanted Peter Cushing, who was in the Hammer Horror show, for the main role.
Yeah, he did. But,
which is a shame. He would have been great.
It is what it is. But the guy that played him was still fucking fantastic.
Yeah, he did fantastic.
The whole movie is a perfect 70s. So that's why it was my pick. So I'll let you go.
So this just makes me... Where is this landlord's daughter? Is she available to hang out
really
with? Like, where is she? Because like this movie's wild. Like the sexual. They that's the other thing too. The amount of sexuality they bring up in this movie is phenomenal. Like the songs are out of control.
Yeah,
the songs are the best part. Like the first 30 minutes of this movie, awesome. Because it's just like weird songs playing. Landlord's daughter and this old guy opening, and he's like the mayor of the and like, oh, you work at the popsicle stand. I don't fucking. It's so good. Like you can see where like Midsommar got a lot of
for sure,
a lot, and it's. One would say it's a ripoff, another would say it's an homage.
I would say it's an homage in that there's a lot of elements that were borrowed.
There's also a lot of elements that are different.
But you can say the same thing because The Omen also borrows one aspect.
Well, every movie borrows
from this because when so he's looking for this girl who everyone finally, for some reason, says she's dead. But one of the things when he first goes there, he goes to the post office, believing that this woman is his mom. He meets her other daughter, who's drawing a picture of a bunny or a hare.
Yeah, that's Rowan.
Yeah, and he was like, so, like, where's Rowan? Oh, she likes to play out in the fields and run around, this, that, and the other thing. And she's like, well, she's... And then when he gets the permission to exhume her grave, thinking that she's been buried, not only is it it's a rabbit, but it's not even, like... It's not even, like, decayed.
Which is weird. It's like they just put that in there.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But The Omen has a scene where they go into the cemetery to exhume the grave, and it's, like, the corpse of, like, an animal. Or it's like it's the corpse of the child, but it's supposed to be not like it's supposed to, nothing's supposed to be there, and it's that whole twist of like finding out that like you're like, oh fuck, so what is going on?
Yeah.
God only knows. Yeah, but Christopher Lee absolutely kills.
Yeah,
it's so weird seeing him.
Well, I mean, he was young as like Dracula. And
yeah, I know, I get that too, but it's still like I think of him as like he's so super weird.
Yeah.
That's all. When I think of Christopher Lee,
I cast you out.
That's Gandalf
or Max von Sydow.
My turn? Is it my turn?
Yeah.
True. Your turn.
Okay. My overall thoughts. Ready? So I liked the music. I liked the beginning, and then it got weird. I liked the beginning and where it was going. Like actually, the
the credits. That's a weird. My favorite part of the movie was the credits.
Oh,
it's really
it's
strange.
a designy because one of the best.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
It's
their
the
opening
best
credits
ever,
is by far.
Yeah, that's a bang.
The best openings ever. They're awesome.
David Fincher's movies usually have good opening credits.
They had that in one of my graphic design classes. I always look at opening. That was one of the best typography. Phenomenal. So, anyways, notes. So yeah, the first like half hour of music until she got into the weird dancing thing with the witchy thing and with the wall and the naked thing, and then how it grabbed me when he went into the schoolhouse and was like explaining how the maypole is like a penis.
A fecal.
A phallic.
A phallic. And I was like, what? And he's like, what are you teaching these people?
Yeah.
Like,
then he tries to use his power to be like, you're under arrest.
I know. But that was like
Was this the first time you'd seen this?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. I watched it this afternoon.
Did you know how it was going to end?
No, I had no idea. But like as a kid, kept going, I was like, oh,
wild.
this is like Midsommar. I was like, this is exactly how it's going to end, which it did.
Which she's not wrong.
Which, ultimately, that was also in my notes, saying there is no way that man could have not broken out of that. I mean, he must have been able to
he would
get
have
out
jumped
of it.
to his. He was like.
I would have
50
jumped.
feet
I would have
in the
rather
air.
break.
I'd
my
rather
than
break
burn
an
alive.
I guess so, yeah.
Because, I mean...
But
He
also,
was also a super religious man. He can't.
yeah.
Oh, my God.
That's why he was screaming to God as he burned
Which
alive.
is... I mean, at that point, I guess you
Daniel
don't really have
in the
anything else.
lion's
There's a
den.
controversy about that scene because a lot of people do think that they burnt all those animals.
I
Well,
mean,
there
some
was
of the
actual
noises
screaming
were-
that was
Would you
kinda
be
weird.
surprised?
Yeah.
And there's
wouldn't.
no news on that?
I don't know. I just
I
know
feel
they
like that's
denied it,
not
but
relevant
there
anymore.
was like there was a whole thing about being like there's no way those animals didn't die. You really burned that thing, and there's really animals in there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you can hear it, like the noises that they were.
Yeah,
making
they were like,
legit.
it's like
You're not wrong.
it's.
You're not wrong.
It was kind of unsettling, actually. Now
Well,
Yeah.
that's
That whole
why
scene
it's like
is-
you have this whole like upbeat kind of like, and as like crazy as the storyline is, it's still pretty lighthearted. Like it's not too overwhelming, and then you get to the last 5 minutes, and it is like way
It's-
over the top.
Yeah,
like
it's
you're
a-
like,
oh
my God,
whoa,
yeah.
like
dude,
when they're
like,
and they're
what the
just
fuck is
dancing
going
the whole
on?
time.
Yeah.
and
Oh,
they're
yeah.
just
Crazy.
burning alive.
Yeah.
I love the scene when he's in the plane, when he's trying to start up, and all
Oh,
of them
it's-
are like at the top,
It's
and then
already
they all
way
With
on
masks?
Oh, and they have
with the
Oh, yeah.
masks on.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I was like,
Oh, yeah.
"Ooh!" And then all of a sudden, like they're just gone.
One of my
Yeah.
favorite scenes. I
Great
forgot
scene.
about this
Great
when
scene.
they pretend like they're gonna put him to sleep by burning that hand.
Yeah.
And then he comes out and hits that guy in the stomach, and it knocks him out because he's not really knocked out. Like
Yeah.
when he takes his costume, I'm like, he punched him in the stomach, and that guy's out.
Well, I love him chasing the guy in like the big dragon thing, and
Oh,
he's
yeah.
like, it's just that's when you click. It's like, dude, they're literally luring him
Yeah.
into this entire thing, and he's just too stupid.
He's
and like
too
he has too
proud.
much hubris
He's
to
too proud,
yeah.
yeah.
Like he just can't let go of his pride to like just
Realize.
fucking have an ounce of
Yeah.
awareness that and he sees the girl and he runs after her. And it's just like it's just
he
and they
comes
once
out the
she
other
runs
end, they're
out
like,
and
"Oh,
they're all
there you
right there and
are."
they're like, you fucking
And he's
idiot,
still-
dude.
and he's still,
Jesus. yeah.
Yeah, he's the worst. I'm so glad that like that's one of the times when you finish a horror movie, you're like, I'm glad that guy fucking got burnt alive. Good for them. Like
It's
that guy's-
it is a weird
that guy
it is a weird
sucked.
ending that you have that kind of thing because you're like, man, like that's fucking brutal, but you're like, well, that guy's a fucking dumbass.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
yeah.
I'm
I
actually
mean-
glad you.
But
got
it is
burnt.
funny. So on the 100 scariest movie moments from Bravo, they have this on there, and
I was gonna say.
I forget
Wow.
who says this, but it's like I 100% agree because it's like when you see them bring him up the hill,
Yeah.
and you see that big wooden Wicker Man, and he's like, "Oh God, oh Jesus Christ!"
Yeah.
Like you're literally like "Oh fuck!"
Yeah,
Like,
like-
yeah. You're like, "Holy shit, dude!"
What is going on?
And-
Yeah.
But that's exactly when we did watch Midsummer in theaters.
Mm.
That's how I felt when they're loading in all
Yeah.
this stuff and they're loading in their friends that are just skin filled
So
with
I saw-
fucking
yeah.
straw. I was like, "Whoa!"
I saw
dude,
Midsommar
like-
before I saw the movie.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, oh, all this was just totally like Midsommar. Do I have final thoughts?
Yeah.
So I
Well,
watched.
because I'm interested in like because you watched this for the first time.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched it for the first time today, and it's fresh.
Yeah.
which is
Fresh.
awesome. I honestly had no idea going into this what this was even about.
That's good.
I had no idea. Mike was, I think you said that same thing last week or whatever, and I've heard of it, but I had never seen it. So I had no idea what to expect. I thought it was awesome. For a movie of when
1973.
Yeah, I was like, for a 70s movie, it's totally fun. I mean, that's awesome.
Which the other big like movies from that year were obviously The Exorcist. I'm pretty sure Don't Look Now, another big one. I could be wrong on the year. That could be,
Yeah,
but that's
but
off the top
I
of my head.
I liked it for an older movie. Like this was good.
It holds up.
It holds
It holds up
yeah.
well. So I love when people haven't seen it and they see the ending because I remember Sarah watched it. She had saw Midsummer and she's like, she was fucking traumatized.
So was she the same? So, or is
Yeah.
so she was the same way I was. Okay,
yeah, but then what she did, this was a lot lighter for her because it wasn't much of a personal thing.
yeah.
Like between the characters, but like she was like, dude, like, holy shit, like,
Yeah.
because you just like, so what did you think? Like, where did you think it was gonna go? Did you have an idea, like, for the Wicker Man, like the way the movie was gonna end? Like, were you kind of thinking he's on the girl and take her away? Like, what?
I thought. I mean, I don't know. I don't think I really thought that I thought the girl was dead. I honestly show up and I figured that they were going to end up killing. I thought at one Salmon King, because they had a mask, I thought he was the fool because then there was that bunny or whatever when they were doing that weird, like, head chopping.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, which one's he in? He's somewhere. Like, he knew what was going on, blah, blah, blah. So, I thought she was dead the whole, I didn't think, and I knew he was going to die, but then I was like, oh, I didn't, like, it's so.
Yeah, there's definitely,
sure.
it's very borrowed, yeah.
So I was like,
this movie ran so Midsommar could.
Right.
That's basically
exactly.
What happened,
yeah. So I liked it. It was
Good.
nice.
I'm glad.
Yeah, and as an older movie, that's a lot because I feel like
and it's quick. It's like, I think it's only like 88 minutes.
It's not long. It's perfect time.
Yeah.
I liked it. Yeah, it was a good pick.
Thank you. Andrew, I know, obviously. And
Guys.
Mike, you guys.
I have.
Can you guess what pop star tried to block the release of
Sinead O'Connor? No.
I'm going to guess it's one of the
Bono.
Beatles.
Boner.
Or Yoko.
One of the Rolling Stones. Mick Jagger.
You're all wrong.
Well, I assume so.
Dude.
Um,
Rod
Stewart?
Stewart.
Rod
Oh, really?
Stewart.
Why?
Apparently, Rod Stewart was dating the girl that actually, like, had the, she got naked in this movie.
Oh, the landlord's daughter?
Britt Eklund? Really?
Oh.
Oh, good looking lady.
Yeah.
Good for you, Rod
Yeah,
Stewart.
so he tried
You
to
look like a
block
weird-
the release of this based on.
That's a psycho move.
Yeah.
Because she took the
Well, hey,
job and he's trying to.
Frank Sinatra was married to Mia Farrow when she was making Rosemary's Baby, and he was like, I'll divorce you if you... And Roman Polanski convinced Mia Farrow to stay in it. He's like, I swear, if you stay in an Oscar for Best Actress. And she did it. They got divorced. She didn't...
But should
Tough.
she have been? Should she have been?
Probably. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what other
Didn't
off
she?
the top of my head who the actresses were.
Yeah.
At least I'm pretty sure she
Yeah.
didn't get nominated, but she definitely didn't win. But
Yeah.
either way, it's just like, Jesus. But like, that just goes to show, like, people had an issue with these kind of things back in those times. So, you know what I mean? So obviously, she's practically a fucking witch
Right.
in this movie.
Right?
So
Yeah.
It's not wrong.
All right, guys, what else on The Wicker Man?
So I have one opinion. You said it's like a dark comedy. This movie reminds me of Hot Fuzz, Nick Wright.
Yeah.
Simon
Yeah.
Pegg.
Yeah.
Easily.
Similar.
Edgar Wright.
Edgar Wright, yeah.
Nick
Edgar
Nick
Wright.
Frost.
Nick
and
Frost,
Simon Pegg.
Edgar Wright.
Yeah.
Nick, I had like a couple of them, but that movie fucking...
Hot
and it's-
Fuzz is a great movie.
Yeah.
Matt, I'll take one. Thank you. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Anywho, anyway, go ahead.
No, that was it. I just said it. It reminded me of Hot Fuzz, but a lot darker.
Well, it's just like, when
It's
I
like
say like a
culty,
dark
like-
comedy, it was just kind of like, because this guy's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
And like I was saying, like that conversation he has with Summer Isle, where he's like, so you just believe that these people become trees and animals and this, that, and the other thing, and there's just no sort of like connection to being born to like from anything, and like they don't know about Jesus Christ. He's like, oh yeah, Jesus Christ, he was born
Right.
from Immaculate Conception.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So it's like we actually are on the
Right.
same fucking
Actually,
page.
yeah.
What do you mean now?
Anyway, all right, we're.
What are you taking my?
Yeah,
What are
this
you
is-
stealing my babies?
Why don't we say put a bow on this bitch, right? Okay,
Yeah.
ready? Let's everyone say adios, muchachos.
Adios, muchachos.
Good evening.
Hey everyone, it's Mike from America's Hometown Horror, and just wanted to say thank you again for listening to another episode of our show, because of course, we would be nothing without you listeners. If you are interested in more local Plymouth podcasts, I would highly recommend you check out some shows by our cohorts on the Inebriart Podcast Network. That's right, the Inebriart Podcast Network, folks. In addition to America's Hometown Horror, you can find the Inebriart Podcast, Bar Talk, Theme Park Legends, Retro Redoctopus, and Old Colony Cast. Head on over and give them a listen.